The chamber was silent, yet heavy with unspoken tension. Politicians who usually filled the Senate floor with noise and interruptions suddenly found themselves leaning forward, listening, because what Senator John Kennedy was about to say wasn't just politics, it was something deeper, something eternal. Cameras were rolling, but for once, the moment wasn't about headlines or soundbites. It was about truth, faith, and the raw vulnerability of a man who had wrestled with life's hardest questions and found his answer in a single name, Jesus. Kennedy rose slowly, his eyes carrying both the weight of years and the clarity of conviction. For days, heated debates had raged over laws, power, and who held the moral high ground. Some came armed with statistics, others with biting rhetoric. But Kennedy had chosen a different weapon, his heart. He cleared his throat, and the first words that left his lips struck like a bell across the chamber. "Ladies and gentlemen," he began, his southern drawl softer than usual, "I've seen folks argue about who's right and who's wrong, about who deserves more and who deserves less. But when I lay my head down at night, I don't ask myself what Congress thinks of me. I ask myself what Jesus thinks of me." The silence deepened. Some senators exchanged uneasy glances. Others bowed their heads. But no one dared to interrupt. Kennedy continued, his voice trembling slightly, not with fear, but with a kind of holy urgency. "You see, Jesus wasn't a politician. He didn't climb into palaces and he didn't cozy up to kings. He walked dusty roads with fishermen. He touched lepers that everyone else avoided. He sat with the broken-hearted, with sinners, with people like me. And if he could love me, with all my mistakes, then I reckon he can love anybody in this chamber too." At that, Ted Cruz, who had been staring down at his desk, slowly raised his eyes. He hadn't expected this. Kennedy wasn't preaching, he was bleeding his soul open in front of the nation. Cruz shifted uncomfortably, then found his throat tightening. Kennedy went on, telling a story few knew. He spoke of a night years ago when his world felt like it was collapsing, political pressure mounting, personal struggles weighing him down, loneliness cutting him deeper than any headline ever could. "I was sitting alone," Kennedy confessed, "and I opened a Bible my mama had given me. I wasn't looking for answers, truth is, I was looking for a reason not to give up. And I read these words, 'Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest.' And friends, I can tell you, those words saved my life." The chamber grew heavier still, but not with tension. Something sacred hung in the air. Ted Cruz leaned back in his chair, blinking hard, trying to keep composure. He had faced many fierce debates, many long nights of struggle, but hearing Kennedy lay his heart bare like this shook something loose inside him. Kennedy's voice cracked as he pressed on. "We fight.